How ruthless is the most ruthless person you have ever seen? I worked the front desk at the Lakeside Inn for 6 years. Never missed a day, never showed up late, kept that place running even when half the staff called out sick during winter. My boss, Mr. Craig, barely acknowledged me except to bark orders or complain about something. Monday morning, I didn't show up to work. Didn't call, didn't text, just wasn't there. What Craig didn't know was that my 10-year-old son Liam had vanished the night before. He was supposed to walk home from his friend's house 3 blocks away, but never made it through the front door. I spent all night at the police station filling out missing person reports while they organized search teams. My phone was dead, shoved somewhere in my purse while I paced the hallway waiting for any news about my boy. By morning, I was barely holding it together. Craig called me 4 times before leaving this message. If you don't show up in the next hour, don't bother coming back. His voice was ice cold, like he was talking to garbage. When I finally listened to it the next day, I broke down crying right there in the police station parking lot. I called him back immediately, hands shaking as I tried to explain. Mr. Craig, my son went missing last night. I've been with the police this whole time. I'm so sorry I couldn't call, but he cut me off. That's not my problem. You're unreliable. Click. 2 days later, they found Liam hiding in this old tree house in the woods behind his friend's neighborhood. He'd gotten scared by some loose dogs on the way home and ran into the trees. Spent 2 nights up there, cold and hungry but alive. When I held him again, I sobbed harder than I ever had in my life. That same evening, I got an email from Craig with the subject line, termination letter. Not even a phone call, just a cold corporate email saying my position had been eliminated due to abandonment of duties. A week later, I went to pick up my final check. Craig was at his desk, typing away like nothing happened. I stood there for almost 5 minutes before he looked up. What do you want? My check. He slid it across the desk without even looking at me. Next time, try acting like a professional instead of a deadbeat mother. Something snapped inside me. 6 years of putting up with his attitude, 6 years of covering his mistakes, 6 years of being treated like I was nothing. And now this. I pulled out my phone and started recording. Say that again. What? Call me a deadbeat mother again. I want it on video. His face went red. You can't record in here. Actually, I can. This is a public business. I kept the camera rolling. Tell everyone how you fired a single mother because her missing child was more important than checking people into your hotel. Stop recording or I'm calling the police. Good idea. Let's call them. They'll remember me from spending 2 nights looking for my son while you were worried about your front desk coverage. Craig started sweating. He knew he'd messed up. Look, maybe we can work something out. Too late. I posted the video on Facebook before I even left the parking lot. Tagged the hotel, tagged the local news station, tagged every review site I could think of. Within hours, it had hundreds of shares. People were furious. The local news picked it up that same day. By the end of the week, Lakeside Inn had lost dozens of bookings, and their Google reviews were destroyed. Craig got fired 3 weeks later when corporate finally stepped in. Last I heard, he was working at some gas station across town making minimum wage. The new manager called and offered me my job back with a raise. I told him I'd already found something better, a position at the children's hospital where they actually understand that family comes first.